It's been 2 months since I finally got back into reading. I'm on my sixth, with a T, it's good, book. I'm on the sixth book I am reading right now. I decided to talk about this book. Gotta start somewhere in the review to say. I'm probably gonna be all over the place, so I would try to keep it in a straight line to say. I'm not gonna go into every details to say, just what I think is important. The book is called Ensnared. It's not. It's still on the. It's Ensnared by the Shadow King. It's written by Laura Glass. Now, before whoever's watching this, I know what it sounds like. I don't know if it's considered a smart book. Look, I read 5 Gears of War books in a row. I had to read something else before I can read the last 3 Gears of War books. I was getting tired, and I had this book since 2023. Decided to read it, and I don't regret it one bit. To be honest, I only bought this book because I thought the cover was beautiful. I simp, whatever. So, spoilers, I guess. The story follows a 21-year-old woman named Delia, and as she tries to kill the Shadow King. Not me. I have it on freaking Google Translate. Give me a second. Nomio. That is his name. Nomio. This is staying in. I kind of couldn't remember how she described him, so I imagined him as Lewis from Resident Evil 4. The original one. Ends with them in love and Doria. I'm gonna call her Doria from now on. Pregnant. Okay? Pregno. Yeah. The reason she wants to kill him is because she blames him for being in a dungeon and tortured since the day she was born. In this world, if you don't have any amount of magic, you're basically dead to say. Yeah. She was a baby when she was forced to have the Shadow King's power, and then was kidnapped and shoved into a dungeon where she was tortured to get the Shadow King's power out of her. Yeah. I will try to go into more details about stuff in chapters. I do want to say the book is 314 pages long. Nothing wrong with that. I just wanted to mention that. Each chapter I will talk about what's in it. We'll also have how long the chapter is. Because why not? Chapter 1 is 5 pages long. Begins with Doria, Akri, and Vina escaping from the dungeon. They're all wearing the bloody outfits of her torturers. Why did I bring that up? Because the writer brings it up 3 times within a page or 2. Other than that, they all decide to kill all 3 kings who are custom 3. Who is Aki and Vina? I don't know, you will need to read the next 2 books for that, for I am, but for this review I pretend I don't know them. Doria has the Shadow King's power, which allows her to change her form, I believe. It would be like a shadow-like. Moving on. Chapter 2 is 13 pages long. 4 days has passed. She has made it to the Shadow King's kingdom. As she is walking to the castle, a random woman grabs her arm, and she offers her some bracelets to cover her arm's scars from the chains in the dungeon. She says no. She doesn't want to hide her scars because it reminds her that she can survive. She makes it to the castle, just walks in. She gets to talk to the Shadow Kings alone, and then changes into a wolf form and attacks. Chapter 3 is 10 pages long. She finds out she can't kill him because of her magic is his magic too. So she tells him to take it back. He can't, for he has to kill his 2 other brothers to get the power back, and with her help, it can happen. She says no, she doesn't want to, so she changes into a wolf form and runs out the castle, hurting people along the way to the forest. Yeah. After getting back into the forest, she calms down and changes back into her human form. She hates her shadow form and how she can't control it. The Shadow King shows up to shows up, which I will call him by his name, Namo, Nami, Namai. Okay, just call him Nama. This is also the chapter where I begin to notice they use stars in place of them for most of the time. But there's a few times where it is not used. Back to my talking. This is where it gets weird, so I'm just gonna read you the paragraph for you, okay? He stopped. I know how difficult it is to control my magic. The power within you belongs to me. I held it for the first 17 years of my life. I had to give it to you to survive my father's death and the court magic that was transferred to me. So what? I stopped snaring. But the beast in me was so strong and angry and afraid. So I can teach you how to control it. Show you the methods I use to keep it at bay until I conquer my brothers and I can remove most of it from you. Most? He nodded once. You were an infant. You were dying. I suppose you don't remember, but I never forget. There wasn't enough magic in your blood to sustain you. Then I'll leave you enough to survive when I claim my power. I think. Yeah, okay, I'll probably end it there. He was 17 when he gave it to her. She was an infant. 20 years have passed. She is 20. He is 37. Moving on. It gets more complicated. I'm not adding this to the subtitles. So, sorry. He finds out she was in a dungeon, but she doesn't go into details. She stays in the forest while he goes back to the castle to get stuff. Chapter 4 is 7 pages long. She talks with Jess. Well, I just imagine him as that guy from the Lords of the Rings for some reason. I don't know why. Learns about Lavi, L-A-V-E-E. And Doria tells Jess about where she was for the past 20 years. Chapter 5 is 13 pages long. Jess told Nama, staying in, what happened to her. She finds out he never slept with a woman, for he is waiting for his mate. Nama tries to figure out where she was kept at. She doesn't say anything. He offers to teach her how to control her magic. She says no and goes to lay down in her tent. Lavi gets mad, saying she's dangerous, and opens her tent, and Doria changes into a wolf form and attacks her. She calms down and Livia heals her wounds, so she goes to lay down in her tent. Again. Chapter 6 is 10 pages long. She is laying down in her tent while Nami helps Jess to work on his magic. She heals, see it like a hand, and it will move like a hand. She does it, and it happens, but gets scared by it, and stops, and then sleeps. Wakes up, and leaves. Whatever his name is, decides to follow her. He talks about his abusive mother, and then they just walk more. Yeah. Chapter 7 is 10 pages long. They lay down together because it's cold and he has all the body heat in the world. So she has to lay next to him. Well, she feels the holy figure to say on her butt. They sleep, then walk some more. And Nami as Doria, that's her name now, Doria. More about her time in the dungeon. Eventually gets mad and stops talking about it. I meant her, by the way, not him. Chapter 8 is 14 pages long. She wakes up in her dark tent that wasn't closed at first and has a panic attack and breaks out into a wolf shadow form and tears up the tent. She eventually calms down by a totally normal words to say. Safety, security, peace, mate. This is where Doria learns that she's the mate / fate for Nami, and where the aging gets more confusing now. I thought he was 37. I think I'm wrong. We won't share a bed. I'm not your possession. There may be a connection between us, but the bond won't develop without encouragement, and I won't encourage it. Fate can go to hell for all I care. His lips curve up upward further. Whatever you say, love. My eyes narrowed at him. His smile turned to a full-out grin. What are you grinning at me for? Wait, shit, sorry. What are you grinning at me? I growled at him. His grin widened. I've been looking for you for more than 20 years. And waiting for you for nearly 40. You may not encourage the bond, but I sure as fuck will. So how old is he? Is he like 60? That's all I wrote. Cause I don't know what else to say. I mean, also, a scowl. I blinked at him once, and then again. A scowl twisted my features, and I stalked off towards the small tent. His chuckle behind me warmed my chest more than I would ever admit. My stomach clenched when he called after me. Fight as much as you want, mate. I'll worm my way into your heart one way or another. What the fuck is wrong with this? What? I literally just talk about random stuff after this part, so it's kind of weird reading the Gears of War books and then going straight into this part of the book and just, what the fuck am I reading? And I got 2 other books to read, and I gotta read the fucking next 3 Gears of Wars. I don't know what to read after that. God have mercy on my soul. There's a God out there. How's your day? After all that, she goes to bed. I'm gonna end it here. I need a break from this, and I had read the book fully, but the script takes so long, too long, along with typing too. I'll do the next part soonish later. You all have a wonderful day / night. Yeah, later.